Hello, fifth grade. Wanted to take a minute to come on here to talk to you a little bit about your A Father's Promise project. This time of year, it just so happened that with how all of our units fell, you will have several projects right around this time. Unfortunately, that is just how it works. But this actually works out really well for some of you who feel like maybe you don't do as well on tests, but you really could rock out a project when you have the time to think about it and put your best effort forward. And so in that aspect, we're really excited to see what you come up with. So why don't you take just a quick minute to come on and talk to you a little bit about your Father's Promise reading response project. This is taking place of a test grade. So you will not have a test on A Father's Promise. Yay! You will still turn in your packet just like normal, but this one will be what you will complete and send in, and it will count as a test grade. You should have a stapled packet together. I pulled mine apart so you could see some examples with 6 different options, okay? You are only completing one of the options, okay? So just one, but you can choose what best works. You know, we firmly believe that God made us all unique and different and gave us all special talents. And so you get to kind of make a choice based on what things are your unique special talent. So let me take just a quick minute to talk through it. You will find a rubric for each of them. Every project is worth a total of 60 points. So no matter which project you choose, they're all worth the same one. And then in here, it gives you very detailed descriptions about what things you need to do in order to earn all of those points on it. So the first option you can choose is called Mapping It Out. And what it's asking for is to create a map using the locations of at least 5 important events that occurred within A Father's Promise, and then explaining it. So I wanted to just show you an exemplar that we had. So this is one where she chose to do the map up here and then explain all of it down here. The other option you could do is have woods and then just like a little box that explains, what's happening, why the woods were significant and why Anna's house is significant, okay? So obviously this is not historically accurate since this is a fictional story, but this is a chance for you to talk about some of the significant settings within the story and why that was important. So that's your mapping it out. So you should include all of the information. Again, it's fine if you want to write one long paragraph like this person did at the bottom, or if you want to include it along the way to explain why it's historically accurate, just quality of work, correct grammar, punctuation. Make sure you have 5 different events, 5 colored events, and 5 explanations about why they are significant to the story. Okay, so that's option 1. Option 2 is called Wise Words. So you'll research some real life figures from the time period of A Father's Promise, which is World War II and the Holocaust. You're going to collect 3 or 4 famous quotes. This is great for you to Google using Ducksters.com, History.com, finding some famous quotes, and then illustrating a picture and explain what it means to you. So this one that I had from a student, he chose to actually draw the people, but it could be about a time period in history or a place if it's about it. So they quoted the person, they explained who said it, and then they explained their reason as to why that was important, okay? So if we look at our project rubric, 3 to 4 different quotes with a drawing shown for each quote, as well as an explanation as to what the quote means to you. So quote, explanation, drawing. Making sure that they're historically accurate, correct spelling and punctuation, and neatness of work. Okay, so that's option 2 that you could do. Option 3, I do not have an exemplar for, so if you happen to do this, maybe you will be on the video for next year's 5th graders. But basically what you're doing is you're creating a timeline of important events that happened within this story, okay? Luckily for us, at the beginning of each chapter, it gives us a month and a year, so we can use that to help us. But basically, you're gonna do it just like a timeline, right, where you would have the first event that happened towards the left-hand side and the last event that happened towards the right-hand side. You'll need to include 5 important events, a visual that represents the event. It could be the characters doing whatever it is, or it might be a setting that you draw or something, and then an explanation of why it's important. Again, it's fine to include it in each of the 5 things, or you can write one giant long paragraph if that's easier for your brain. Making sure that it's historically accurate and to the story, correct spelling, and quality of work. So if you do this, maybe yours will show up on next year's video. Okay, the next one we have is called Flash to the Past. This is you're going to create a set of trading cards for each of the main characters in the events. You're going to include an illustration and the character's name on the front and any important information about the person on the back. So please note that you do have to include 5 cards. So again, same thing, character's name and a drawing of the person on the front, and then why, any important information and why the person is significant in the story on the back. Should be historically accurate, correct spelling and punctuation, and quality of work. So I took scanned a copy of last year, that's why it looks huge, but you can just do these on normal index cards, half sheets of paper, whatever works for you. It is actually colored, however, when I scanned it, it's scanned in black and white. So in this person, they did a trading card. The character's name was Rudy. He is colored. I know you can't see it on here, but he is colored normally. Character's name and what they look like. And then on the back, this is the other scan. This person chose to include, and it says right here, the important information. This person chose to include what they looked like. And so it was important that he looked Swedish. Blonde hair and blue eyes, and then why he was significant to the story. He was the main character. Here's where he lived. Here's why it was important. So that is your Flash to the Past, the characters. 5. You have to include 5 of those, not just 1, but 5. And then last but not least, we have, 2 more. The 5th one, we have Compare and Contrast. You're going to choose either 2 settings or 2 characters from the book. So like not 1 setting and a character, but like 2 settings compared to 2 characters. And you're going to talk about how they're the same and how they're different. You're going to write 1 paragraph about the similarities and 1 paragraph about the differences. Okay, include at least 3 ways the setting or character is different and at least 3 ways the character or setting is the same, which is, you're used to writing paragraphs about that. Introductory sentence, 3 backup sentences, and 1 concluding sentence. So that's what it is. So here's an example of one. This person chose 2 settings, and so they wrote 1 paragraph about the differences and 1 paragraph about the similarities to do that. So that is an option that you can have to turn in. And then the last thing was cause and effect, okay? So you could choose 2 events from the book where 1 event directly caused something else to happen, could have had a positive or negative effect. You're gonna write 1 paragraph about the event and why it was positive or negative, and it should have an illustration. So in essence, you'll have paragraph, illustration, like cause, effect, illustration, cause, effect, illustration. Okay, so 2 paragraphs and 2 pictures to submit for it. Okay, so that's kind of what they talk about here. And again, same thing, all historically accurate, including correct punctuation, spelling, quality of work, all that kind of stuff. So here's an example of one they did. I lost a picture that went along with it. So again, if you go ahead with this, then you can. But this talked about how Rudy found Ingrid and why that was significant. And it included a picture of Ingrid and Rudy together. And then they wrote another paragraph about something else and cause and effect and why that was significant. Okay, so those are your 6 choices. Again, remember, you're only selecting 1. We are always on the lookout for new exemplars for next year, so do your best. One thing I will say is that when we talk about this project, you'll have to note your teacher's due date, because it really does depend based on the teacher in terms of session dates and other expectations and stuff. But just as an FYI, we're expecting about an hour for you to be working on this. We truly and honestly expect you should be able to do your best work with about an hour. Now, some of you that are really artistic and love to color and make very detailed work, if you choose to go longer than that, then we completely understand and support it. But just know that we really do believe that if you work solidly for an hour, you could get this finished. We're gonna give you more than that time to get it done, but just know this is not something that we're expecting weeks and weeks on as we go. Questions, reach out to your teacher. Otherwise, good luck. We can't wait to see all of your wonderful projects and maybe find some great new exemplars for next year. Have a great day. Bye.